Hey there, friends and fellow adventurers. I'm Alex Reid, the DM for Cocked, a Real Play RPG podcast, and your guide for the Lands of Manassas. Welcome back to the 24th episode of Cocked, a Real Play RPG podcast. We are actually going to resume asking questions at the beginning of our episodes, and this week, the question is, what is your character's most treasured possession?
Hi everyone, this is Alex Groves. I play Agard the Furwall Druid. Agard's most treasured possession is his Luckstone that he got from his grandfather. The other PCs probably haven't seen it. He usually wears it underneath his clothing, but it looks like a polished stone when you get close to it. It's like the head of a cat that he wears around his neck. It's a Luckstone. It's a magic item, and he got it from his grandfather when he passed.
Like the head of a cat?
Yeah, it's really,
That's so cute!
Yeah.
Oh.
According to the manual, that's exactly what it looks like.
Hi, I'm Reggie Morris. I play Bronco Ultim. Bronco's most treasured item that he has with him is his notebook, just where he puts all his notes for his research. All of his thoughts are there. Just anything that they come upon is in that notebook, jotted out somewhere.
That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Jessica Reid. I play Kadie, a dragonborn fighter. Kadie's most treasured possession would be currently her ring that is on a leather cord around her neck. She hasn't probably shown, I think she's only shown Braca the ring, but not necessarily what it can do, because she doesn't really have that knowledge per se yet. But it is from her mother, so it's her most treasured possession right now.
Unfortunately, Connor Joyner will not be able to join us for the next few sessions. And with that, let's listen to the ending of last episode to recap exactly what took place. Do you guys want me to go first?
I will go with you.
Okay.
Agard puts his hand on Alfred's back and
Walks with him, and you guys kind of, in Ebrone, Braca, and Kadie, you see as they start to enter the tree, it's almost like reality bends, and they start to shrink as they start to approach the tree, and they go in, and while you're standing there, you look, and Agard becomes about the size of Braca, and Alfred becomes about the size of a dog, and they both kind of go through, and you see as they just disappear on the other side. Agard and Alfred walk through, and as they come out, you hear this, almost like this twisting and breaking sound. Mm-hmm. And you come out of the tree on the other side, and as you look back, you can just see there's a small circle of light, and you can make out the different bodies that were standing around the area of the tree as you just traveled through a tree.
I mean, Braca will just follow right behind them.
I'll follow Braca.
I was going to say Braca shrinks. Kadie shrinks, and they go through.
I'll go through.
I'm just invisible then.
Now we will resume as members of the party find themselves on top of a hill next to the main road with Evorgos in sight. So, you guys have traveled through the trees. You are stepping out of a large oak tree that overlooks Evorgos. As you step out and you begin to look around, you see Alfred made it through, Agard is there, Kadie is there, and Braca is there. But I won't make you guys roll for it. It's quite obvious. Ebrone is not with you. And the portal seals behind you as the tree comes back into its own. And there's no longer what looks like a doorway between trees.
okay, do we feel like he is trapped in the tree or something?
You can make a
nature or something, or
that's what I was thinking. I would think nature.
It's a 23.
You feel like with these types of spells, there is the ability that two groups end up in two different places.
Okay.
There is a chance, based on how knowledgeable the person who casts the spell is with that location, knowing that Peliphione, who is the one that casts it, is from the Fey realm. She's not as familiar with this area. She was here in Evorgos, like she told you guys. They did kind of scout out the town and explain it to you, but this isn't where they're natively from, so something could have happened with those spells like that. There is the chance goes up depending on how familiar they are with the area, but there is a chance that not everybody gets through where they should be.
Okay.
Do we have any of the Dryad folk around? Like, did somebody come with us?
No.
Okay, but Alfred's there.
Alfred is there.
So Agard's going to... Alfred, I feel you are more familiar with this type of travel than perhaps we are. Do you know what could have happened to your Brone? Should we be worried?
Well, I mean, he's not here. I lost a toe doing it. And he kind of holds up his claw. And you guys remember when you guys were looking at Brilla's farm? Right. There were the 4 slash marks, and he kind of holds up that same...
Agard immediately looks down on the ground to see if there's any pieces of a Brone.
Oh my god!
Alfred's like, but like, I made it through, so I would say if we don't see any pieces of him, like, I mean, he
maybe just didn't make it.
Maybe he didn't walk in the portal. I mean, you and I came through first. Maybe who came through last?
What?
Did you guys? Well, yeah, you guys got here last, but did a Brone try to?
I don't know.
Was he the last one?
He went in after Agard and Alfred.
Oh. I don't know. Can one of you guys like talk to Peliphione? I can't talk to her telepathically, but I don't know if one of you guys
hold
can.
on.
What is she doing?
I think she's in this world. Sometimes we have to release what we've eaten. Kadie, there are bushes for that.
No. Okay, I tried to send a message. I don't know if she heard it. I haven't heard anything back. But I'll let you know if it worked.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I think the only other option we have is to talk to Peliphione about what could have happened. But if you message her and she didn't say anything back, maybe she's busy.
I don't have the ability to contact her.
Just for like clarification, this is Jessica for Kadie. She literally just tried to think a sentence like, "Hey, can you come help us?"
Yeah,
like she doesn't have send message or
Right.
anything like that.
Well, I'm torn. I'm a little worried, about the Brone and everything. But at the same time, I feel like a really strong pull from the city that way. At the same time, I feel like there's got to be either a large or multiple chunks of these purple Wivenium that we've been hunting and looking for.
Right.
Can we try to get these stones and get them back so that they stop corrupting the land, and then then maybe we can focus. If we don't find a Brone during it, or he doesn't find us, we can focus on that.
I mean, that is why we were here. If I have no way of helping a Brone if something happened while we, traveled here anyway. So
well, I can tell you, if we get all the stones, I won't head back until we find a Brone. Like, I will help you guys. You're helping me, so.
I rolled for my worry and I got a nat 1, so Katie's fine. I don't know.
Can I just say, I called it.
Yeah, I just yeah.
The first roll that matters will be a 1.
Yep.
Care, boop. Nah, it's a Brone. He'll be fine.
He's fine. He's got it. He's got his arrows.
Alfred, can you fly up and see if you could see any sort of corruption in that area from the stones?
Yeah. And he
That's a good idea.
And you see him, and he kind of looks at Kadie. He closes his eyes, and he squints real hard like he's thinking, and then he just goes invisible. And then you just hear that as his wings start flapping, he kind of flies up. His wings are like hummingbird wings, so. You hear that
Oh, that's
noise,
cute.
and he kind of goes up. and then takes a couple minutes or so, and he. Do you guys want to do anything while he's gone looking, like have any conversation amongst the three of you?
Well, Agard is looking around the tree.
Brock is just jotting stuff down in his notebook.
A piece of tail or mane or, just to see if there's
brain.
anything.
A whole arm.
You want to roll anything?
An
or?
arrow shard.
Yeah. You can roll a perception and see.
Like one of those leather hooded masks with a zipper on the...
No, we're looking for
Oh,
wood stones.
no. Nope.
Nope.
Agard's looking at like 2 trees over. He forgot what tree we came out of. There's this grand oak and this little skinny sycamore. And he's looking around the sycamore like, oh.
Maybe it came out of this tree.
That's what happened. He just got sent to another tree.
Sure.
Brocco,
We'll find it.
Brocco was just jotting stuff down.
Yeah.
He can survive.
Kadie is literally just like waiting for Alfred, like in the air.
He's mumbling stuff to himself, like
Looking in
quietly, like just under his breath, just stuff about what he's jotting down. That's about it.
So are we
Can I
like on
hear
a
anything?
hill, like where we can see kind of into the town, or are we like level
So,
with the town, or how is...
Kind of. You're not a lot higher than the town to where you're looking down on it, but it is a hill that's kind of slanted downward. I'd say you're probably 20 to 30 feet elevated above where the gate is, but you're about, I'd say, anywhere between 50 to 75 yards away. So you're not super close up on it. You're still a little ways away, and you're basically where it starts to descend to the gate.
Okay.
I'm near you. Can I hear anything interesting that you're mumbling to yourself?
It's not interesting to Braca. I don't know how interesting it'd be to Kadie. It's just like alchemy stuff. He's drawing, or not drawing up, essentially writing out what he's predicting for an experiment that he's going to do later involving acid and poison.
Oh, acid and poison.
Okay, so we're just while we're standing there, I hope Brone is okay. I mean, he's more than capable of taking care of himself, but I hope he traveled someplace where, he arrived safely.
It's funny that this keeps happening to him. I wonder if he's just meant for another path. You never know.
I don't know.
While that conversation is taking place and you hear Kadie mention some stuff, you hear the wings start to get louder again as Alfred comes back, and as soon as he lands, you guys can see the little depressions in the dirt around you for his paws, and then he drops his invisibility. He's like, so, hey guys, I didn't really find any corruption, so to speak, but it was really weird because, like, a lot of the buildings look abandoned. Like, they look like somebody hasn't been there for a little while. I didn't see a lot of people moving about. I actually didn't see anybody moving about, which was kind of weird. I saw some animals. I saw, like, cats, dogs, like, normal, wildlife in and around towns, but no people, which I found odd.
Didn't Peliphione told us that goblins and stuff were here, right?
Yeah.
She said they thought that they were encroaching on the town, but I don't know if they had... I didn't think they had completely taken over, but by the looks of it, they could have.
Well, she told us to go to a tavern at the center of town.
Oh, yeah, that's there.
I thought they had... There was something in the cellar that she told us about?
Wasn't there something there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, as I'm saying.
She had mentioned that there was a door to the tunnels in the cellar.
Okay.
I think they had barricaded it, though, if I remember what she said correctly.
Well, I say let's head to the center of town and let's see the tavern and see what state the town's in.
Should we kind of do this a little stealthily, because we don't know what is maybe watching us?
Certainly.
Okay.
If that's the case, I think I should probably stay out of town. What do you guys think? Or maybe, I could turn invisible, and I could just sit on top of the tavern that we're going to, if you guys are fine with that.
Yeah, I think that works.
In case something happens, you'd be there to help.
Okay, do you guys want me to stay with you until we get there, or do you want me to just go straight there? Because I can go straight there right now.
Yeah, I think if you go straight there, then we'll... I think maybe if you see anything that you think we should be aware of, I don't know if we should have some sort of signal or...
I mean, we only have a few more hours of light.
True.
But, I mean...
Let's at least go down to the cellar and see this barricaded door town.
Yeah. Right.
Leave
Okay,
before
then
nightfall.
I will go sit on the roof.
Okay.
And Alfred turns invisible again. You guys hear his wings, and he kind of takes off.
Okay. Great. All right, let's head into town.
Let's
So
go.
we go to the closest gate. And
So as you guys descend the hill and approach the gate, you notice that this gate at one point, when it worked and was manned, it opened outward, and as it closed, there was stone on the wall built in so that the doors couldn't open inward. They only opened out.
Mhm.
But at the state that it's in right now, those wooden doors that opened out are now looking like they're getting ready to fall. They're leaning outward. They look like they've been kind of broken and messed with. And as you approach, you guys do see what looks like banners and like flags. But it's just carcasses of like deer and different animals that have a strange symbol marked on them.
what's the symbol?
Go ahead and make a perception check looking at the banners.
No. Hold on, I'm on the right
You
thing.
need some water.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Your face is getting red now, though. I think you got burned.
It's probably burnt.
It's a 10.
Oh, Kadie is
Oh
rolling.
gosh, 10,
15.
which for me is low.
So,
My passive perception's 18.
so
Wow.
Agard and Brock are studying this hide that has been turned into a banner. And as they're kind of looking at it, Kadie waits probably about 5 to 10 seconds, and she just kind of leans in between the two of you guys. And Kadie, you recognize that it is the clan of the Black Moon symbol. You've heard about them in your training and your learning in Tenea. It is a hobgoblin tribe that you know has been kind of, they cross with like goblins, which is very strange because most of them stay separated, but this clan of the Black Moon is known to work with different dark magics, and it typically includes like trolls, hobgoblins, and goblins. So they do kind of run the gamut of these underground dwelling species.
I guess we're gonna have to deal with the clan of the Black Moon now, huh?
Make an Agard roll a 10, so Agard's like, yes.
I love it.
So
This is agreeing.
exactly my thoughts.
Well, I don't. Do I know like anything else like in regards to
Now that you've mentioned it to the group, you can roll
weaknesses and things like that?
a history check.
Can we all roll history since you mentioned it?
Yeah, since you mentioned it.
Please, someone else roll history. She doesn't remember shit from class.
17 for Agard.
It is a
Damn.
1.
So
That's pretty average.
it's a 1.
It's a 1.
Oh, no.
Not
Wow.
a natural 1, but a 1.
We turn back around and Katie's asleep.
Nice. So Kadie mentions that, and you guys are kind of like, oh. And you kind of look at her, and she's like, that's all I got. Like, just the name. But Braca and Agard, you guys start to remember stories that you've heard of these different tribes that became a clan. It originally was just hobgoblins and goblins, and then it expanded from there. There is a big following in some of the ground-dwelling species that basically you're either, if you come across the clan of the Black Moon, you either join them or you die. That's the only two options, and they do, Braca, you know, they dabble in dark magic. Your former tribe leader had tried to convince your tribe to join the clan of the Black Moon before you had left.
All right. I guess we'll convey that to Kadie.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Brock will just say they know dark magic and stuff like that. So they're probably pretty dangerous.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Let's proceed with caution.
We're definitely going to have to be very careful.
Don't know how we're gonna swipe one of these crystals from them.
If we can find it.
Yeah.
Hopefully Alfred can figure out exactly where it is.
And even then, how?
Well, let's head to the tavern and see if we can find anything else. So we're going to move forward.
Do we want to kind of just keep to the buildings and not go straight in the middle of the walk area here? So that way we can just
Sure.
observe.
So as you guys start to walk through the gates, you get this very eerie feeling like something's watching you. It's a ghost town. You can hear little creaks and things off in the distance around you as you guys pass through.
Hearing this and all, can we do some sort of check to see if we can see anything, like peeking through a window
Sure,
or
you can
something?
make like a perception check.
Rocket does it.
Ooh.
It's a 6.
25.
It's a 7.
So you get this feeling that you're being watched.
Mm-hmm.
And as you enter through and you start looking around, Agard slows down a bit and just kind of starts to take in his surroundings and look completely around the group and the party as you guys enter in. Braca and Kadie get a couple feet ahead of you, probably 5-10 feet ahead of you as you're looking around. You realize that the feeling that you had, you see this set of eyes pop up in one of the windows in the houses and disappear. And you kind of look at it and you kind of lock in on where you saw them. And all of a sudden you see them come up again and you see it's like furry ears.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little cat that's just kind of poking its eyes up in the building and then hiding.
Okay.
And then kind of popping up and looking and then hiding again.
So Agard, seeing the cat,
Mhm.
is going to get down really low. He is going to speech of beast and leaf.
Okay.
And speak to the cat and say, we mean you no harm. We're here to find out what happened to the people that lived here.
As you started to say that, the head darted underneath the window, and then it slowly, now like, before it was kind of like cautious, like they don't know I'm here.
Right.
But now it's like that super slow, like, oh shit, I'm caught. Look, as the cat kind of appears and looks, with that, can they communicate back? Or they just
I can't. It's just they can understand. It says you can communicate with, though not understand, beasts and plants and have advantage on charisma checks to influence them.
Okay, so as you finish saying that, you see the head kind of pop back up, and the head looks to be, it's black and orange as far as the coloring goes, and it disappears, and then you see this cat, looks probably, I don't know, a couple years old, come out of the house that you had said something to, and Kadie and Braca, as you guys are walking, you can hear this purr behind you. And do you guys want to turn and look?
Yeah, Brock will turn around and look real quick.
So, as you guys kind of hear that noise and you guys turn to look, you can see this cat rubbing up against Agard's feet.
Oh, what does it look like?
It is, it's black and orange. It's primarily black, but it has like orange spots across its body with a little bit of white on its belly.
The calico?
So it just kind of walks out and kind of walks around Agard's feet, and you feel like you can understand that.
Sure.
It is acknowledging what you said.
Right.
That
Agard's
it's safe.
going to reach into a pouch and pull out a little bit of dried meat that he has and just give it to the cat.
Okay.
Knowing that it's probably hard for the cat to find food right now.
Cat will take it.
Okay. Agard will then say, can I ask you a couple of questions? So he's going to hold out both hands in front of the cat, and he'll say, are there currently goblins or anything that is bad and not usually in the town here? If there are, put your paw on this hand. If there are not, put your paw on this hand.
It like sits down, like looking at you for a minute.
Sure.
And it walks over to the left hand of Agard and kind of, it doesn't put its paw on it, but it nuzzles its head against the left hand of the, there's danger here, but doesn't know what it is. It just knows that it's kind of fighting for its life type of thing. Right. So,
and Agard will, kind of knowing what he knows about goblins and hobgoblins, knowing that they're mainly nocturnal, will say, is there more danger now or when night comes? Again, if it's more danger now, this hand. If it's more danger when the sun is down at night, this hand.
Again, he kind of pauses and kind of looks at both hands. Kind of walks between them and then slowly kind of walks towards Agard's right hand towards night.
And you want to roll to see if I like an insight to see if I understand that? What do you mean? I feel like he would, but
I think that you're being a druid and being empathetic with nature. I think you could pick up on the fact that this cat feels like it's kind of in danger all the time, but typically at night is when it needs to hide a lot more. Okay. But the fact that you saw it in the window, I mean, it was shocked, but when you said it meant no harm, he was like, okay, nobody else talks to me type thing, or I can't understand anyone else. So,
we're here to try to find out what happened and see if we can help. For the time being, would you like to stay with us?
You just hear, meow, and he kind of runs off towards the tavern. Like when you said, we want to find out what happens, it meowed and instantly ran in that direction. Okay. Like, and is just kind of doing circles in front of the door of the tavern.
We should follow our new friend.
Okay. That is so cute. Are we going to keep it?
It's up to it, whether it wants to be kept or not. Aww. But he will probably stay with us for now. Is it a he or a her? Well, let's walk away after I could tell.
We're going to say it's a her.
Okay. So we'll go to the tavern then.
So the party follows the cat to the tavern door. You get there, the door is slightly ajar.
What kind of magic is that? And only slightly ajar. How did they do? Like the top's the door, the bottom's ajar?
The door is cracked open.
Oh. Agard's going to open the door. Stealthily, if I can.
Without checking for traps?
I already said I was going to do it. Sorry.
Jeez Louise. It's like you're an amateur or something.
It is.
So, Agard presses the door open.
Trying to be stealthy here.
It opens pretty slow, and it does have a little bit of a creak, and it is loud. It stops about halfway open, and you hear a thud, like it hit something.
Oh, okay.
But it's not super loud because you weren't slamming the door open, so it doesn't sound like everything's clattering, but you can hear the thump.
Right. Okay.
And you just kind of stop pushing the door.
Can I fit through the door? As much as it's open?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can fit through it.
So Agard's going to look around the door to see what it stopped on.
Agard, as you look around, you can see what looks like a stool that has fallen over into the path of the door. So it just kind of bumped the stool. It is a square stool, so it's.
Okay. Okay. Then he's gonna just step inside. Not wanting to. He's not gonna move the stool or anything. Agard's the biggest of all of us, so if he can fit through, then we're probably okay.
Agard's able to shimmy through, and just kind of sidestep, and you're able to get into the door. As you sidestep into the door and get there, you see that this place has been just ransacked. Tables are broken, stools are everywhere, benches are broken, things are thrown all around. As you look over towards the bar, you see any and all of the drinkware that they had is just scattered everywhere. You can see some of the kegs that they had tapped just have holes ripped in the front of them. There's still some with a little bit of liquid, depending on how the tap was ripped out. But for the most part, all of those are empty.
Okay.
Agard.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yes. Yeah, you can come in.
All right. Does the cat follow? Did the cat go in there?
The cat will follow.
Oh, okay. All right. So I sidestep in there with Agard.
Okay.
Is Braca coming?
Yeah, after a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So Agard's going to try to find the way to the cellar.
Braca, before you walk in, you just hear, "Psst, hey,
oh God, Alfred."
Hey, is everybody going inside?
Rocco's gonna like pat his chest real quick where his heart
Oh my
is.
god.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
And it's at that point that you guys that are already inside, you can hear like as he like tries to move on the roof and maneuver
Santa.
to where he can see stuff.
I'm gonna go back outside and say in Draconic, don't break the tavern trying to get on top of it.
You could just hear in Draconic. He responds back, "I'm trying not to." So as you walk in, you can see after you backed away, the cat kind of got a little hesitant, but as soon as you entered, he kind of followed, and you see he kind of darts past everybody real quick, and then just kind of rubs up against Agard's foot, and just kind of stays near Agard because that is who talked to him.
If the cat does that, the Agard will just reach his hand down and see if the cat wants to be picked up.
If you want to pick the cat up, he'll get picked up.
Off of
Just
Agard here.
Pick him up and put him on my shoulder.
He'll just kind of settle in, and you just see him you see her settle in, and she just kind of lays down on Agard's shoulder. Head is closer to Agard's face. You can feel her kind of nuzzle into your neck. Braca and Kadie, you guys are about 5 feet behind, and you guys are just searching. Go ahead and make an investigation check since you're looking for something specific.
Sure.
Because you're looking for like the staircase, right?
13.
Like anything leading to a cellar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 2, so I just didn't think that was needed to say no.
So Kadie walks like back towards
the wall.
towards one end of the tavern that has like the fireplace.
She
and
doesn't know
starts
what a
looking
cellar
around.
is, so she's just looking out windows like, what's this?
Agard, you find what looks like foot traffic into that just ends like near a wall, and it doesn't make sense. Braca, as he mentions this, and you guys are all walking around looking, you notice that everything is destroyed here and ransacked. There's nothing on the walls or anything except for one sconce that is near where the footsteps end on the wall, and it's about, say, 4 feet high, just sitting there on the wall, and that's it.
Just shy.
That's the only thing on the walls anywhere that hasn't been damaged or destroyed or taken off.
Okay.
Oh, Brock will point it out.
Because he can't quite reach it.
Okay.
Sorry.
He points it out. I don't.
So he points out that there's a sconce on the wall. You do feel like it's out of place. Looking at it, there's nothing else on the walls. You can see sconces that have been ripped off that are like all around in the pile of rubble that used to be tables,
Right.
And benches, but this one is still attached.
Can
Rocca,
Kadie go over and touch it?
yeah, I was gonna say Rocca's gonna say, Can you pull it or push it in or twist it or do something with it?
Okay, good. Because I was going to say, I don't think Agard would think of that. He's not been confronted with this before. So, yeah, he'll just go up to you and...
I don't think you'd have to pull hard. Try not to break it.
So he just, real lightly with like maybe a finger just pulls on the sconce.
So as you pull it towards you, you can feel as it kind of comes out of the wall and down a little, and you hear this.
Okay.
And as you do, you can hear what sounds like a creak, and you see where the footsteps ended. This like wood panel kind of opens slightly. It is at the other end of the bar, so it's walled in. So it looks like the steps went around the bar behind it, and then it ends right there at that. So as you do that, and it creaks open, you guys see it's only open like 2 or 3 inches.
And we all notice that that's what opened. We don't. Okay.
You hear the click and you can hear the creak, and as you look, it looks like the wall's still slowly moving, and then it stops.
Okay.
Mysterious inviting room. Mysterious inviting room.
And you hear Kadie on the other side
Right.
start chanting mysterious inviting room.
Yes, you do like those games.
Brock is just gonna say, I don't know what it is with secret rooms.
Let's go.
All right.
Gotta check it out.
So who's closest then? Who's on this other side? I'm assuming I'm farthest away, or Agard's farthest away.
Braca and Agard are near the door.
Okay.
The sconce is behind the bar too. Like when you pulled that,
Gotcha.
it's literally triggered something right next to the sconce. So Braca and Agard are standing in front of it, And Kadie just heard you guys, the click, and turned and saw the door slowly open.
We should proceed with caution. I can go first. It's up to you.
I don't want your friend to get hurt.
Is it dark?
It is dark heading down into there.
I can't see at night.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Agard pulls out the spear from his back and unsheaths the blade, so there's light.
Okay. Yep.
From
So
the blade.
that I think it goes out to 15 feet, correct?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
now Kadie's able to see 15 feet out from the spear as he pulls it out, and so is Braca.
I think Rocco was wanting to go first.
No, I'm just like basically holding it up at the entrance right now. But
Yeah,
yes,
so we're
Braca,
going to
yeah.
see the entrance.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
I gotcha. So we can see inside.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we see?
Yeah, it's 15-foot radius. We can see clearly, and then dim light another 15 feet.
So, are you opening the door? Because last I knew, the door cracked open, and it's only like 3 to 4 inches.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're sorry.
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I
I'm
thought
sorry.
it was already like
I thought you were saying it would
cracked
continue to open.
Yeah.
So it continued to open after you heard the click, and
Yeah.
then it stopped
Then it
after
stopped.
a couple
Okay,
inches.
Yeah.
I'm
yes.
sorry.
So
Okay.
yes, because I'm assuming Brock is in front of me now.
Yeah.
So I would grab the door, like over him. He's in front of me, and just like slowly start opening it.
Pushing or pulling?
Sl-
Oh no! Is this not
slowly
Kadie in another
start
door?
opening it. I said slowly.
So
Slide.
as you
I need another hand.
as Kadie puts her hand on the door
Yeah.
and just slowly presses it open, it's similar to the front door to the tavern. It slowly opens, but it doesn't catch on anything
Mhm.
until it's opened all the way,
Mm.
and you hear thunk as it hits what sounds like a wall. Looking in, because the spear is lit, it looks like there is a hallway that goes back about 10 to 15 feet, and then it looks like it turns to the right.
I'm sorry. I thought I was pulling it towards me, but I'm pushing it forward.
You're pushing
okay.
it in.
Whew.
Yep.
Does it look like there's been foot traffic through here?
You see some foot traffic. It looks similar to the footprints you saw leading to it. That looked like they were in dust,
Right.
but then dust has gathered on top of those footprints too.
Okay.
So they're not fresh tracks, but they're also not the oldest tracks in here.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, Brocco will say, well, I'm going to go in. If you guys want to follow, you can. If I see anything, I'll run back. What?
I mean, I can follow you.
Sure.
And I'll be in the rear.
Okay.
So as you get to the corner, you realize that there are stairs leading down to your right.
Okay.
The foot traffic looks like it continues down those stairs where you were following. There's not much else. You do see what looks like drag marks that look like they're from barrels that they have dragged up and into the bar, as well as maybe when they restocked when this place was popular, before the goblins destroyed Evorgos, maybe them taking them down as well.
Okay. Brocco will just note that and just keep going.
So you head down the stairs. The stairs are about 10-foot descent. So you come down, and now you're standing on solid ground. It feels very damp. The smell in here, it smells almost like mildew.
It's
Yes.
very moist down here.
It is very moist down there, and it smells mildew.
Oh, what was that sound effect?
It's like a moist.
Don't.
No.
Do you have? Does Braca have dark vision?
Yeah. 60
He
feet.
does.
Okay, so as you get down there and you look around, you can see what looks like old barrels. They don't look like the ones upstairs. They don't have holes punched in them or anything like that. But as you're scanning the room, the wall directly across from you, as you get onto this landing and look across, has what appears to be a sealed door. It looks metal. It looks like it's been reinforced, and it looks like it has wooden planks that have been driven around it to try to hold it. It does look like there has been force against it from the other side. The wood boards don't look like they are 100% structurally with their integrity.
A drawbar.
A drawbar. So the 4 drawbars that are like mounted to this door,
right.
they look like they've taken some damage, but not that they're getting ready to fail. But you can see some cracks in the outside of them and things like that where they're sealing this circular object over a hole.
Does it look like if these drawbars are like fully destroyed, the door will just like fall?
It wouldn't fall. You see that there are large hinges on the left side of the door.
So the tunnel, I'm assuming that this probably leads to maybe a tunnel or something, because this just reminds me of the tunnel back in the like down the well.
Mm-hmm.
Just reminds me of that.
And I believe we were told that this door did lead. Did she tell us that there was a door that they sealed that led to?
Peliphione did tell you there was a sealed door in the cellar of the tavern in the center of town that led into the tunnels.
Okay. Brock is gonna say, so do we want to see if we could get this door down and go through the tunnel, or find another way through?
I believe we can try that. We have a very short time until dark.
Well, come back another time.
Sure, but I think, yeah, we can definitely try that. Agard's thinking of something else too at the time. Do you have anything else for this? I don't want to take away. How many barrels of wine or ale or anything are down in the cellar here?
There's about 5. Well, you know what? Roll a d10.
Make me do all the work. 7.
There's 7 barrels.
Rocca, how much poison do you have on you?
Enough. You want to poison the barrels?
Well, the state of things in the tavern upstairs looks as though they have ransacked the place and
They're
drank.
storing this here, yes.
If we were to take these upstairs and poison them, maybe set them outside on the side of the building or something where they will be noticed quickly, and then I'm assuming the way goblins and hobgoblins are, probably consumed quite rapidly. If we were able to poison these barrels, maybe that could give us an advantage.
Rocco, you were talking about poison before.
Mm-hmm. It's my whole thing. One of my whole things.
It's your main thing. It's your bag.
Main thing, yes. I mean, we could do this. It wouldn't take long. I can just pour poison into the barrels.
I'm going to, Agard is going to look down and put his hand on his little feline friend and say, I'm going to set you down. Why don't you run back upstairs? We need to carry some things upstairs, and I don't want to. So he lays it down.
Didn't you pick up some poison from the camp that woman decided to drink herself?
Yeah. I have 3 vials of that.
Okay.
3 vials of spider poison.
You could just make it a mixed bag. That's
and
an experiment, right?
And I can make more poison.
Okay, how big are these barrels? Agard's going to grab them and start carrying them upstairs.
They're good size. They're wooden barrels.
You know, Agard has powerful build.
I'd say you could probably carry 2 at a time.
Okay. So he's going to do that. He's
one
gonna,
under each arm.
Katie's got one.
Okay. Great. So a couple trips. We get them upstairs. Where do we want to put them? I don't know if we want to keep them in here. Do we want to put them outside? I don't want to make it an obvious trap, but at the same time, I don't know if anyone will be through this building again tonight.
Why don't we leave some in here, but then maybe put a couple outside, like kind of like breadcrumbs, but not.
Okay.
What is the word? Auspiciously.
Suspiciously. Yeah.
There's another word that I'm thinking.
Oh, sorry.
I can't think of it. It's okay.
Yeah,
No,
we'll put a couple on the side of the building. I think. Are there any other buildings?
Conspicuously?
Conspicuously.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm on.
Are there any other buildings out next to the tavern that we would think?
So there's not any other buildings around the tavern that look like they are establishments for food, but there are different ones that look like you can see what looks like they're the remainder of a sign with like thread. It's like the T and the H are on one side, broken, and the other rest of threads is on the other side. You can tell there's a few different what look like storefronts around there, and then a couple that look like homes across from it.
So Agard wants to kind of, again, not to be conspicuous. Agard would like to move inside the tavern, move any kind of tables or anything from the center of the room and set one of the barrels there. Just so when they walk in, if anyone were to walk in, they would see it. But, you know, it's not, again, we don't have a neon sign pointing down at it.
And I don't think cats will drink this, but you want to go ahead and tell our little friend
That's a good point.
Lick it?
Good point. So Agard conveys that to the cat.
So we need to... Are we doing this tonight? Well, how long do you think it'll take you to move all these barrels?
A couple minutes.
Okay. Because I need to poison them now before you move them.
Well, they're upstairs now, so we're got them kind of all in the middle of the room.
Could Braca do an investigation check to see, like, gauge how big the barrels are and kind of calculate how many ounces of poison he would need?
The barrels are like Braca's size, and you feel like you would have to dump at least an entire vial of the poison in per barrel for it to do anything.
Okay. Well, I have 6 vials total, and I can make another vial of poison with my own nature. So
yeah, let's get everything. Let's get 6 of these poison now. We'll take these outside, then create your last thing of poison for the one that's in here. Okay. So while we move these outside and around, if that works for you. Okay. Yeah. So he does a vial per barrel. How much time do we have until nightfall?
I'd say at this point you have the sun is starting to set.
Okay.
You probably have another 45 minutes to an hour before it's completely gone.
Yeah, we got to move.
Yeah. Braca's going to ask you to, like, take the tops off the barrels or whatever, and then just start dumping poison.
Do we need to take the tops off, or do they have bungholes?
They do have the bungholes.
Yeah.
So you can just pop the bunghole out and pour the the poison.
So I'll help you pop out the bungholes. Okay. If you'd like. That was all total Alex knowledge. Agard knows nothing about bungholes.
While Braca's dumping the poison into the barrels, he's going to very quietly say to himself, interconic, as quietly as he can, "This takes me back."
Putting poison in bungholes? So we put a couple of the barrels, the ones he's already poisoned, next to that building, and then I want to look around and see. I don't know, like what's another
to help us so we can do this more efficiently?
Well, I mean, Agard can carry 2 at once, so we'll be done as soon as you're done with that one in the middle. Okay.
I probably could technically do 2 since I think I can carry over 450 pounds, but
yeah, you can carry 2 under each arm,
and they roll too. So
yeah, okay.
So yeah, we kind of want to split them out, or I guess out in that center town area a little bit.
So are you putting them like out in the street, scattered around?
I would put them kind of like next to a building, but not like right up against it. Like they wanted to be noticed, but not like, again, a big target pointed on them or something. You know,
tip one over a little bit.
Sure.
Make it look like it was just kind of rolled out somewhere.
So are all 3 of you placing the barrels, or is it just
Kadie? We are placing the 6 that were already poisoned. Mm-hmm. Braca is currently in the tavern with the last barrel we're leaving in there, making poison to put in that one.
Okay, so I want you to roll deception or stealth, whichever one's higher, to try to make the barrels blend in like they've been there and they just missed them.
Okay. That is a 21 with stealth. A 19 with deception.
A dirty 20 with stealth.
So we'll go with stealth if that's the highest of your rolls.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, 20.5 is a pretty good average. So you guys are able to maneuver these barrels and make them look like they blend in. As you put one near where you see a couple different barrels and crates on the barn, and you kind of use some hay to make it look like it's been there a little bit. You kind of blend it in with the surroundings so that it's not obvious that it has just been moved. And those 6 barrels, I mean, they look like they've been there for weeks, untouched.
I kind of agree with what Jess said, though. I think Agard, maybe open one, pop another bunghole, and maybe have it like a little bit spill out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Poppin Bungholes
you can do
is
that.
the title of this episode.
Yeah, Poppin Bungholes. That's a thing.
You definitely, some of them have some spilt liquid around them.
Yeah.
Definitely makes it look like they've been there for a little bit. You're able to make one look like maybe the bottom is leaking type of thing, just with the liquid, the spill that you made.
The bottom does leak.
No. Okay, so once we got them placed, Agard's going to rush back over to the tavern. Braca, how are we at this last?
Oh, I was just waiting on you guys to get back.
The cat is still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are leaving town for the night. Would you like to come with us?
The cat just kind of prances up to you and just starts rubbing against your feet.
Okay, I'll scoop it up again and put it on my shoulder. I suggest we get out of town as soon as possible.
I would say at this point you guys probably have about 15-20 minutes to get out of town before the sun is completely down.
Yeah.
Braca, when we're like leaving, he's gonna like sort of like whisper shout up to Alfred and just like in Draconic and just say we're leaving. Stay here if you want.
The moment you say we're leaving, you hear quietly just a as he starts kind of flapping his wings and kind of taking off.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say let's
Do you want to go back the way we came in or the other way?
I say let's go back to where we came in through the tree and figure out where we want to go from there.
How far was the tree from town?
It wasn't very far from town.
Okay.
It was like 50 to 75 yards,
Yeah,
I think is what I
so
said.
a lot farther away.
Yeah.
Than that, then.
Agard basically takes the cat, holds his arm like a football, and is running out of town at this point.
Oh, running?
Agard is.
All right.
Agard will make a perception check with disadvantage because he is running.
Okay.
But if you're not immediately running out of town, make a perception check.
Brock is running too. He's trying to keep pace with Agard.
Okay, if you're running with disadvantage.
14 with that's the 16 or 14.
4.
So you guys
Can't win for losing.
you guys don't hear much as you're leaving town. As you get out of the gates, you can hear what sounds like wood cracking or being moved. And you can hear like and you can hear what sounds like in the distance people kind of
Not people.
they're not people, but creatures communicating back and forth in a language that you aren't necessarily familiar with. We're going to end this episode here, as the party has laid a trap for the clan of the Black Moon with leftover ale barrels they found hidden in the cellar beneath the tavern. Braca and the party poisoned the barrels by poppin' bungholes and planted them around town to make them look like barrels that were passed over initially. As they finished setting up the barrels and left town, they heard creatures emerging from the tunnels beneath. Thank you, friends and fellow adventurers, for tuning in for another week of chaos and fun with the cast of Cocked, a Real Play RPG podcast. We are so thankful for each and every listener. Also, a very big thank you to our Patreon subscribers. If you are interested in subscribing to our Patreon, who will have access to prequel episodes to the campaign in the next few months, then check out the episode description, as there is a link to our Patreon there. If you enjoy our series, then please check out the description as well for our cast handles on Instagram. Please go follow and like whatever posts you see from them. Will the party escape Evorgos as night sets on the town, or will they be spotted and seen by members of the clan of the Black Moon? Tune in next week to answer this question and celebrate our 25th campaign episode. And it's at that point that you guys that are already inside, you can hear like as he like tries to move on the roof and maneuver
Santa.
to where he can see stuff.
I'm gonna go back outside and say in Draconic, don't break the tavern trying to get on top of it.
You could just hear in Draconic. He responds back, "I'm trying not to."
He speaks Draconic?
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon.
Don't look at me like that. I'm here. It's been speaking Sylvan this whole time. I don't know.
So smug. He's a dragon.
Exactly. Like, gosh, dang, guys. Make me feel terrible about myself. All right, let's go.
He's a Fey dragon. That's why he speaks Sylvan and Draconic.
All right, anyways, let's go.
Facts.